Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Due to popular demand, I've given in and we're finally talking about Hyram's skincare line. Selfless by Hyram launches at the end of this month, June. So I thought now was a really good time to sit down and talk about the thoughts and feelings on the brand, what we know so far, as information is being drip fed to us across the month going up to the launch, and obviously my initial impressions and thoughts and feelings. Now, none of the products are actually available for sale yet. I haven't got my hands on any of them, but I thought it'd be a good time to have a look at what we know about the products to launch so far and the brand itself, because you know they're going to sell out on day one. And so if you do want to get your hands on them, you're going to have to be quick, which is why I think, front loading a video like this might be beneficial to you guys. So sit back, relax, and let's talk Selfless by Hyram. Now, before we jump into this, I do want to caveat with two things. First of all, I appreciate that this brand, the review, the hype around it isn't going to be for everybody, and you might not want to sit through a whole video reviewing a brand that you might not be interested in. So to counter that, I have just uploaded on the Facebook group my nighttime skincare routine. So if you want to dip out, give this one a pass and want to talk about nighttime skincare routine and see some of the products I use, go over to our Facebook group where that has literally just gone live, so you can check that out and get your daily fix through that video instead. Secondly, I want to caveat that if you're here for the tea, for the shade, for the drama, you've come to the wrong place, because you know what, I don't think we ever empower ourselves or feel good by tearing other people down. I actually am a huge fan of Hyram. He's been so kind to me and supportive over my life here on YouTube, and you know what, you can definitely see that a whole lot of effort and passion has gone into this line, and I'm not here to pick anything apart. That being said, I do think we can talk honestly and openly about brands, about products, without being disrespectful or shady, which is the intent of this video. But anyway, let's cut the waffle and jump straight on into it so this video doesn't run to 20 minutes, and talk first of all about the brand itself. Well, the name is Selfless by Hyram. It's formulated by the Inkey List, which we're going to come on to later in the video. It's going to be launched at the end of June across all Sephora stores and Sephora online, and very, very much launched with, social impact, social change at the forefront of what the brand claims to do. I was pretty shocked, to be honest, when they launched in the first video. It wasn't talking about the products themselves. There was no even products teased. It talked about the brand and the ethos behind it. But I think that's actually quite refreshing, because Hyram has always talked about sustainability, the environment, and the commitments that he wants to make in his own lifestyle. And so I'm kind of happy that that's followed through into this brand. And really, front and center is that social commitment and that commitment to social change. A lot of the time, you'll see what people call greenwashing in skincare, which is where brands, pretend to care. We pretend to care so they can sell, buy into that green dollar and, get the green lobby on board, but not actually deliver anything alongside it. CeraVe, which is one of Hyram's favorite brands, is like prime example of this. You go onto their website and they say, all our products, we commit to increasing the social profile of all our products. Meaningless, rubbish, platitude. It makes a few people go, oh, they really care, but actually it means nothing. But the opposite is true with Selfless by Hyram. You see so many commitments which are actually measurable, from teaming up with the Rainforest Alliance to guaranteeing they're going to deliver X number of hectares of forestry and new forestry. These are real measurable things that you can look back in a year's time and say, actually, did you deliver that? Did you actually deliver what you committed to? And it's either a yes or no answer, because they're so clear and upfront with what they want to do. So I think that is really, that's a really nice thing to see. This won't appeal to everybody. And I think, this is definitely a brand which is pitching at the Generation Z, which I think is anyone under like 28. A lot of people, in that Generation Z category really want to see social change, want their products and their purchases to drive that change, to deliver against their, ethos and what they believe in. When you get to my age, I'm in my mid-30s, you get a little bit more cynical and maybe have different priorities. I still care passionately about cruelty-free, which this brand is, and about sustainability and minimizing my impact on the environment and the amount of waste. But do I expect my cleanser to deliver social change? No. I want my cleanser to be able to wash off the extra layers of makeup I have to plaster on to cover some of the cracks that are emerging. I want brands to have really boring things like good expiry dates and great returns policies. All the things in our teens we go, ugh, if our mothers ever said, that was the thing you should look out for in a brand, we'd say we never want to be that person. You hit your mid-30s and all of a sudden you're worried about expiry dates and return policies. I think that's just, how things go. And I love the fact that this is clearly playing into Hyram's core demographic, which is that, that Generation Z young consumer that is obviously passionate about these things like social change. And it's great that there's an option there in the market. Am I saying if you're over, Generation Z, you shouldn't care about social change? Absolutely not. I just think this is where the brand lies and where the priorities lie. Let's come on to what the formulation is. It shocked an awful lot of people that this was in partnership with the Inkey List. A lot of people were calling out, this isn't really a brand launch, this is a collaboration. And having formulated my own skincare line, I can just dispel this myth. This is not a collaboration. This is definitely the formulation of a skincare line. There are three ways you can formulate products. You can do white label, which is where you take a pre-existing product and you just stick your own label on it and sell it. There's no changes to the formulation. It's not really your formulation. You just put nice branding on a pre-existing product. This is quite common in skincare. It kind of goes under the radar. No one talks about it, but it's quite common. You can also do private label, which is where you go to a brand, you go to a lab and you say, okay, this is the product I want. You need to deliver this for me. And they do. It costs a bit more because they're formulating it, but you can put your stamp on it and know that that product is your product and unique to you. There's a third and more niche way, which is what Hyram's gone down, which is where you pair up with an existing brand. They use their expertise, skills, and distribution networks to deliver a product in a little bit less of a time frame and with a little more ease than going from scratch. I actually think this is a fantastic way of doing it because for Hyram, it takes the stress out of the distribution because the Inkey List already have that network in place with Sephora. So that's one huge stress out of the way. And then you can almost focus down on the formulations, the branding, and all the stuff that you're really passionate about. But I think we're all here for the products. So let's talk about the products and what they actually are there to deliver. So we've had two products launched. One, with great fanfare. One was technically a leak. So let's start with the one that was officially and formally launched, and that is their Retinol and Algae Serum. This retails at $30 for 30 mils of product and combines retinol with tranexamic acid and an algae and is designed to tackle acne and hyperpigmentation. Again, feeding into that Generation Z market that this is very much pitching towards. I think that's great because, in your teens and 20s, you are going to be worried about breakouts, excess oil in the skin, hyperpigmentation as a result of those breakouts and all that. And this is a great product that'll deliver that. You're getting a 0.2% retinol equivalent in this product, which is low strength retinol. I say that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think that's something that we need to distinguish. This is a low strength retinol, so you'll get minimum irritation, you'll get minimum sensitivity from it, but also you're not going to get those amazing results that some of us love from our high strength retinols. Tranexamic acid is a beautiful, beautiful addition. In fact, I covered tranexamic acid in a separate video, which I'll link up there. Check it out because it's one of the best pigment correctors for hyperpigmentation you can find. And I think it's great to see it in this product. The algae, the benefit of this, I think, is a little bit open to discussion. I think botanics and botanical extracts can add so much value in skincare, but they're not often as widely studied as some of the more common ingredients you'll see. And so I still think the jury's out there whether it's going to add as much benefit as people might hope. But it's definitely, the retinol and the tranexamic acid are doing the heavy lifting in this product, and the algae is a really nice addition that could add some marginal additional benefit and is a nice unique selling point to the product. So am I going to buy this product? No. And that's not to shade the product because it's not a badly formulated product. It's just not designed for my skin type. I think this is going to work great for people that want to start their retinol journey, want to start on a real low strength retinol to ease themselves in, which is the best way to do it. A great beginner product. It will help resurface, retexture the skin, bring back some smoothness. It will help at the margins with hyperpigmentation with that tranexamic acid and retinol. And I think it could have some real great acne fighting benefits. For me, as someone who uses a retinol which with a 5 or 6 times the strength of this, I'm going to get no benefit from this product. My skin is advanced to the stage where I need anti-aging benefits from my retinol, and that can only really be delivered by higher strength retinols than this one. This is definitely not for the anti-aging skincare routines, but definitely great for who I think this has been pitched at, which is that younger generation that can get the acne fighting and hyperpigmentation benefit from the product. A lot of people have called out the price point. $30 for 30 mils of product is up there in terms of the price point. It's not the most expensive on the market, but it is definitely up there. And this is where I think pairing with the Inkey List can be a little bit problematic because the Inkey List are known for their drugstore to their core philosophy. They have their own retinol serum, which is actually the same strength or equivalent strength as this for a third of the cost, around the £10 price point. This is a very different product to the Inkey List retinol, which doesn't have the tranexamic acid or the algae in. Definitely different, but of course people are going to compare the two because they're both formulated by the Inkey List and delivered under the Inkey List facilities. Now, does this mean you shouldn't expect to get more benefit from this? Absolutely. I think that tranexamic acid is a lovely addition, and it's definitely, but there is that comparison. I do think, $30 is a little bit up there in price, but of course, if you get the product and it works for you, honestly, you can't put a price on skin confidence, and if it works for you, then I'd obviously encourage people to keep using it. Just be mindful that this is an anti-aging product. This is definitely pitching at that oil control, acne fighting, and hyperpigmentation game. We've also had the teasing of the Centella face wash. Now, the reason I said this was more of a leak than an official launch is it appeared on the Sephora's website, then I believe it was taken down after. So I think it was a leak by Sephora. Some people, the cynics amongst you, have said, a leak. It's just to get the hype still continuing. I don't believe that. I don't know. I think it was probably a genuine mistake. But we did get to see the product. Obviously, it wasn't up there long enough that we could do a real deep dive, but this is a Centella-based cleanser, which is going to cost $20. In terms of the product, I love Centella. I think it's a great, it's unique here in the West. It's used in just about every product over in Asia, particularly in Korea. In the West, we don't formulate with Centella as standard. I think it's a shame because it's calming, it's soothing, and can add great benefit to your skincare routine. I'm super excited. I probably will try this product. Whereas the retinol, I just said, wasn't for me. It's not going to deliver the benefits I need, and it's not for my skin type. I think this could really work. I like a nice, lightly foaming gel cleanser that isn't going to strip my skin, but is going to work to just, keep everything in check in terms of the excess oil and provide some nice cooling and soothing benefits, which Centella is fantastic for. I love the fact that, Western brands are taking on some of the ingredients seen out of Asia and really incorporating them if they're beneficial, and Centella is definitely one of those. I think $20, a little bit up there in price point, but with these prices, you do need to remember that you're getting a whole host of, charity, social profile, all of that built into it. If that doesn't bother you, if that's not something that you gravitate towards, then yes, you can get a cheaper cleanser elsewhere. But I think some people that are calling out the prices have been too high online forget that beyond just getting the product, you're getting a whole host of social impact behind it, all of which does come at a cost. And so you do need to factor that in. And if you don't care about any of those things, or they're not your main purchasing priority, then maybe this isn't the line for you and you could go for a cheaper cleanser elsewhere. I am going to try this cleanser because I do love Centella. I like, how it's described as being gentle and calm and soothing. So I think this one would work really well for my skin. So I am going to pop one on order if I can get my hands on it on the launch day. So what are my thoughts? Super impressed that it's living up to the values of the creator. So often we see people talk about what's important to them, then their skincare line or their makeup line comes out and it's just the opposite of what they've been saying. That's hypocritical and I don't particularly like that. This is definitely in keeping with, Hyram's ethos. It's fragrance free from what we see so far. It's got that social profile, social change behind it. Definitely thought and feeling has really gone into this, which I think is a plod. I obviously wish him the biggest amount of success with this launch because, obviously we should wish everyone success in their ventures. And I hope it will be a total success. You just know this will be sold out on day one. And honestly, I couldn't be happier for Hyram. Will say though, the price point, for those of you that say the price point is too high or that you think the price point is maybe a little bit, work out what matters to you in terms of your own purchasing decisions. Are you swayed by the environmental impact, the social profile, the drive for social change? Does all that matter? Because that comes with an increased price point. If those things aren't what gravitate you towards a product or a brand, then there are cheaper alternatives on the market and there are other brands and products you could go for. If that is your core motivation for purchasing a product, then this is a fantastic line that you can incorporate in your own skincare routine. I would love for you to share your thoughts and feelings. Are you tempted to get your hands on any of these products? What's your take on what's been offered so far? And are you like the ultimate Hyram fan girl or boy that wants to buy it all on launch? Share your thoughts, feelings, and comments below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.